One. Hey, everybody, it's Black Women Love Football. This is our first show of the New Year Wind Down Wednesday. And we're starting off the new year. We're bringing the men in to chime in on these playoffs, these firings, these hirings. We got so much going on. But I'm going to pass it on to Stacy, and she's going to lead us the rest of the way.
Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to this wonderful platform we got. This week we overtaken by the Jags, but we'll take it. We got our Steelers fan in the back, so I appreciate you all for jumping on Black Women Love Football. So we are going to hop right on into it. Let's start with Mal. What's going on with MLK weekend in Atlanta?
MLK weekend. It's kicking off on the 18th. We're going to be doing a day of service. We partnered with Hands On Atlanta. There are three different areas of need, which is the clothing sorting, which we actually filled all the spots. I'm trying to think of
Awesome.
Who was on that list, but I didn't get a full list. But it sounds like it's going to be a lot of the ladies joining us that day. We have clothes sorters. We have food sorters, as well as packing boxes for people in need. Okay, so that's an awesome thing. All slots were filled. It was out there for a few hours and it was all gone. So I was
so amazing.
I was on all day saying 4 spots left, 3 spots left. So they were going fast. So I don't know exactly who's going to be there, but I can't wait to see everyone. There's going to be some people I haven't seen on in years. Like I said, Black Women Love Football is bringing all the ladies that love football together. And like I said, all walks of life, we are just, excited to give back. Day of service, MLK weekend. On Monday, we're going to be in the parade.
Yay.
Parade, yeah. 2 miles. We're going to start off in downtown Gwinnett County, in Lawrenceville. And that's a 2-mile walk. They're going to kick off at 11 o'clock. That's the lineup, and they're gonna have a small ceremony. After that, we're gonna walk 2 miles in the parade. I think Stacy and Susan said they're gonna be giving out little trinkets on the way and throwing out things to the crowd. I'm excited.
We got a lot of stuff planned. I talked to the parade organizer yesterday.
Okay, cool.
And he just wanted to make sure we were ready, find out more about us. And he wanted to know, did we have a preference for the parade? I told him to please put us near a band.
A hyped band too, not one that's gonna be playing "Oh Say Can You See." We want to.
So he's like, well, we have high school, college. I said, put us near a HBCU band.
Yeah.
So, some of these high school bands, let me tell you.
Yeah, they be getting into. Hey, Cammie. Hey, Luella.
Hey, Cammie.
So yeah, that's Monday. But we also wanted to have everybody in uniform. So we were talking. Everyone should order a gray Black Women Love Football hoodie, which is on the site.
And they're on sale.
We have a few ladies that want me to bring it on Saturday, Susan. So I'll let you know those ladies, their names, so I can bring it to them. So they'll be ready on Monday for the parade. We're bringing them on Saturday to the day of service. Okay.
Okay, cool.
So I'm excited, everyone. Like I said, the Saturday morning, if you are sorting clothes, you have to be there by 8:30. If you are doing the food, you have to be there by 9.
Ooh, that means I got to get up early, Jesus.
Exactly.
Okay. And also, if anybody, I know there's few coming in town. If you need any hotel, if you wanted to stay near us or you wanted to stay near different events, just let us know and we'll see if we can accommodate the hotel information to you.
Okay, well, let's just roll right into it. Mal, your coach was fired. What's going on?
That wasn't a shock to me, and I felt bad because I said they didn't give that man a chance. They gave him a bum team, no O-line, new rookie quarterback. Brissett was tore down.
He been tore up since he came in the league. He got 2 left feet, but go ahead, Jesus.
And then, fighting for his life back there. He wasn't one with the legs and all that. He got sacked so many times that it was just, it was hard to watch. I mean, we was even talking about doing a skit on this, but anyway, It was like $1 million a day business gone down to rubble. I was like, how do you do this? What happened? We know what happened, but it's going to be a build on top of a build on top of a build. I'm tired. They're just not giving us any weapons. It's just, they're trying to make something out of nothing.
So we have the fellas joining us today. We have been taken over by Duval, y'all. How that works is beyond me. However, so I'm going to throw it to Nikki real quick so she can introduce our wonderful, illustrious guys who came to talk football with us tonight. And then I'll throw it over to Susan and she can introduce that black and yellow behind her.
Okay, so I have my son on.
Hey, son.
I have my son on, Mark. He goes by Mo, and he has his very own podcast, and we'll share that with you as well. I also have Charles, who is an adamant travel buddy of mine who actually travels, has been traveling for several years with our Jaguars Travel Buds Club. That's Charles, that Duval. That's him. And then I actually met Ray at the draft 2 years ago, the Kansas City draft. And I promise you, it's like we've been brother and sisters all of our lives. Now we starting to travel. We made the draft is like, that's our thing. We doing that every year. Something else he taking me to, I think, is the Final Four. And he just got me doing all kind of stuff. And Ray is also a coach at this time, a basketball coach. So that's Ray, Coach Ray.
Hey, Coach Ray.
How y'all doing?
Welcome to Black Women Love Football. Hey, Alicia. Hey, V.
Hey, V, Alicia, Tina. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Stacey, can you send me the link so that I can send it out? Because a lot of people wanted the link to watch.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, thank you.
So, not only did Mal's team coach get fired, Donna, they got rid of AP too, huh?
Yeah, they did. Like I've been saying all along, he was dealt a bad hand. First off, he come in, no quarterback. So they want him to make apples out of sour grapes, I guess, But my thing is, at least give the brother another year. Get him a quarterback, somebody that he can work with and they can, jive together and see what happens after that. I thought if Brady came on, that might would have saved him a little, because Brady know what's going on. He know Mark Davis is a jackass, right? He likes to run things and don't know what he's doing.
What you guys think about our black coaches being fired?
I'm just in mourning.
I just felt like I don't think Jerod Mayo was he was ready.
No.
I don't think he was ready for the position.
I mean, but can he get ready?
What if they don't have a team?
I'm sorry.
I said you don't think he deserved a chance to get ready?
I think but I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think they should have fired him. I think 1 year in, the team that he had, plus, him learning and that all comes in town. Now they're trying to get back Vrabel, and I'm not with that either. I hear a lot of whisper about that, and I'm like,
you know what? He made an announcement even before they let him go that he's interested in the position. So
who said that?
Vrabel. He changed his profile pictures back to
so
his.
Vrabel was with us in Cleveland, and they let him go, which I never understood why they exactly brought him on. But it was also hopeful that he was hoping to go back to Ohio State for the longest. So that's why he was sitting still in Cleveland, thinking that he was going to get a position down at Ohio State. What saved Ryan just from not being fired was the fact that he won and will be in Atlanta next week for real. But other than that, he was supposed to go back to Ohio State. So to want to go to the Patriots after what he did nothing in Cleveland is crazy.
Well, he did bring the Titans to a playoff,
but they just don't give our brothers a chance.
No, they don't.
But let the lighter hues screw up.
No, but look at the Giants. He doesn't get fired. They're gonna retain him. You know, at least y'all will probably recruit appropriately. We need a quarterback. We're gonna probably recruit in the first round of linemen because that's what we do. So, you know, it makes you kind of mad being a black woman and seeing our black brothers done like that and not given a chance or not given the tools. How about that?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Oh.
Well, I'll be a devil's advocate, right? Because I'm in this coaching profession. I think one of the keys is you control on what job you go after, right?
Right.
And these guys, like, you know, I always say, you know, my next job, I'm 100% absolutely want to take that job, right? It has to be the job for me because you know what you're dealing with when you walk into that job, right? You can't, and so, but they're young coaches, right? Especially like AP. AP was in a situation where he was already on staff and he finished out, he was the interim, right? He finished out the year and then so, but then for a coach like Mayo to come on and take over for your first year, you know you ain't got no quarterback. You know the situation of that roster. Sometimes you got to pass on the job to get a better job, right? And we can say it ain't fair, right? But that's just the reality.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reality that as a coach you gotta look at your career and say, man, is this a death sentence for me to be taking this job or not?
That's true. I agree with you.
I agree, but I think that we get put into the position that this is what available. If I don't take it, then how do I feed my family? How, you know, this person is expecting this from me. I got to be this person. So we take it hoping that it will pan out because we do it for the benefit of our families. But not that I don't agree with you wholeheartedly. And it's tougher for us because we don't get the same opportunities that our white counterparts get. So it's not like if it was Kevin Stefanski who keeps getting time, chance after chance, and they think he's the greatest, opposed to, okay, AP come in or Mayo come in and do it, and they don't have as much as, you know, we do either.
But Mayo, I don't think Mayo expected that. He played for them.
Yeah,
right.
Did. And
he
then,
did.
you know, Belichick and all them kind of, you know, Kraft handpicked them to go, you know, to take the job.
Well, they're trying to give it back to Belichick. They're trying to get him to leave the college and go to Raiders.
Oh, wow.
He's
Really?
not going.
Yeah, I heard about that. And he has a clause in his contract.
Well, he said no.
He got a clause in what contract? In North Carolina?
Yeah.
That he can go out if he get offered something with the NFL? He's an idiot.
We don't want him.
He's an idiot.
Okay, tell him how you really feel.
But I didn't think it was a good match from the beginning. He sent them this long laundry list of it gotta be this, I gotta hire this, I gotta, and then this and the other. And if I was me, I'd have been like, you don't belong here.
Yeah, that's what he said. He had a list of stuff he wanted for when Arthur Blank interviewed him. He comes with stipulations.
A whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he wasn't he was a hard coach.
But that's kind of my point, right? And of course, Belichick is different because he's tenured and he has a resume that he can do that. But you also, when you're coming in and you offer the job, you know, I just like in my profession, you know, you go to a job and you sit down with the AD and the president and they say, well, nah, coach, we only got 7 scholarships. And my expectation is 10. It's up to me to say, you know what, I'm gonna deal with 7. Mm-hmm. Or it's up to me to say, you know what, 7 not gonna work. I can't win with 7, right? And you know you can't win with 7, right? But if I take that job and then in a year I get fired for not winning, I knew I couldn't win with 7 scholarships, right? But I took that job anyway.
So let me ask you this. Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You good?
So do you feel like they didn't go in and leverage with the higher ups the way they should have, or they took the position and they took what they was given and they didn't have no room to do anything?
Yeah.
So I'll say this, like, so this is my 10th year in college basketball, and if I was offered a job in my second year, I'd have took it right away. I'd have took it like, hey, I got an opportunity, right? Because I didn't have the experience to say, man, that's a bad job. In my mind, it was a job, right? And so for these guys, because they're all young, they're all young black coaches, right? And it's their first job. And so into their mind, there's no such thing as a bad job. They're like, hey, I'm a head coach in the NFL. There's only 32 jobs in the world like that. Yes, sir.
Okay, so but I understand that. If you played for that organization, then you coach with Bill Belichick, and they handpick you after you've been there years with Bill Belichick, and they give you the job, you still don't take the job?
Not if you don't think you can win. Now, if they handpicked you, but if you first of all, you already know the ins and outs of the organization, and you know what it takes to win at that organization. Of course, pro sports, college sports, different, right? Mm-hmm. But I ain't got a quarterback, right? We ain't got a quarterback, and we probably ain't getting a quarterback this year because where we sit at in the draft. And I'm not, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not saying I would take the job, right? Because again, that's an opportunity that only 32 other men in the world got, right?
Correct.
But when you take the job and you don't make it, you can't look like, that's why you don't see these guys jumping up and down, because they knew what they were dealing with, right? First of all, coaching is a hectic, tumultuous job, right? The coaching is vulturous, right? And so it's already tough for you, and then being African American is that's another spot for you, right? So taking a tough job, you go back to when Tomlin, for the Steelers fan, when Tomlin took over after Cowher, he knew he was a young coach, but he was taking a good job, right? There's only two other guys in 30 years that been in that job before him, right? So that's a job that you say, yeah, I can't turn down. Versus you take a job, Mayo, where they don't won for 20 years, which is a tough spot. You following a legend, you got no quarterback. Like that's just a real tough position to be in to win. Right.
So if I was him, I would see. If I was him, I would have said, "Man, ain't nowhere to go but up." They won 4 games last year. So
right.
I don't know what they were this year.
The expectation?
So are we saying they could have negotiated better contracts for themselves? Give me 2 years. Give me 3 years.
Or give me a chance to get a quarterback or an O-line or something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Offensive coordinator. Well, typically when you get a job, and I know times have changed, but you typically would give a coach at least 2-3 years to make something happen. And I think that what looks really bad is the fact that you have this trend of minority coaches who are not being given the same length of leeway, same length of time to implement their program and mold the team in their vision,
right?
To make that happen. And so it needs to be publicly stated. It needs to be put out there more that we notice this, and this is not cool that this keeps happening. I mean, just this week, you not only saw it in New England, you saw it in Vegas, you saw the GM in Tennessee, who just after 2 years is on the outs. Not saying if he necessarily deserved it or not, because he did do a couple of things that I'm like, okay, that was a little odd that he did that. But still, you have other people who look like this, who do even worse, but still are given more time to keep doing work.
Exactly.
And that's not cool that continues to happen. I also wonder with Mayo if one of the nails in his coffin was the fact that they won last weekend. The fact that they won last weekend and they went from drafting first to, I believe, 4th.
They're 4
and
now.
So we know that this is not a strong quarterback draft. Most people are saying that there's probably maybe 2 that are worth taking at the very, very top of the draft. And so I don't know if they were thinking of that because they just drafted a quarterback just last year. So maybe they were thinking, damn, we still wanted that number 1 pick because.
So you're saying he didn't think like they wanted him to.
Yeah, and maybe that he didn't go along with the program. I don't know, but I wonder if
he should have had a conversation with Kevin Stefanski.
I agree.
Panthers just let some people go too while we were on here a little bit before we got on. So I don't know who it was, but I just saw it come across.
Yeah, let's look that up.
You know, a lot of these jobs, the jobs that we're talking about, and the jobs that AP took, and even a couple years ago, my man before D'Amico took was his first job as well. They were stop the gap guys, right? Because you think about it, how many big names did you hear after the Raiders job? How many big names did you hear after the Pacers jobs? It was a reason that people weren't running to those jobs, right? But the first year coaches were. Remember all those hot names? All those hot names was on the button, but none of them were going to those jobs. But the people who they knew would jump at a job, and that they just happen to be us, right? They just happen to be us because all the young hot coordinators, right? They were getting those jobs that had quarterbacks, had solid GMs, and that's it's ain't right, but that's again, that business is crazy.
The Panthers fired 3 defensive coaches 15 minutes ago after surrendering the most points in NFL history.
Wow.
It sounds a little bit eerily similar to the Jaguars after last season,
right?
Where you had a dysfunctional offense, but yet the coach said, "I know what the problem is," and fired the black defensive coordinator, only to replace him with a white defensive coordinator who went worse in every defensive category across the board.
That happens a lot.
And he at Raiders now, so I wonder if he's safe over there.
The Raiders move surprised me because they have so many black people in their management and in elite positions. So that's
but then they brought Tom in, so
yeah, and instead of giving it to the brother, they brought him in, so he got back in his spot.
The other thing is, I agree that we don't make enough noise to say that we see what you're doing. But I think that is in a lot of positions in life, period, that we don't make the noise enough for our own. And we the ones spending the money. I look at just who the people I travel with, and then it's them. We have to figure out how to make the noise and speak up for our people as well. I don't care how many DEI people that you got in your office, they there for federal regulations because they gotta have them, not because they there to make sure that y'all doing us correctly too.
But you know what I find in sports? I find that we can make the noise, but the people that matter don't make the noise. So that's why it's not effective.
But when we are in the position to make the noise, we need to be making it.
If the players don't make noise, they're not going to ever do anything because the players are the ones that matter. That's who will affect them the most if the players don't play, if the players strike, if the players speak up, if the players tell what's going on in the back room. And they're never going to do that because of the money or their position. So our noise don't even matter.
V says also the black coaches are not making enough noise. And I agree with that. Because, at one point in time, they had a little lawsuit going on because they was losing their jobs. They was told to lose for draft picks, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And then that kind of just faded away. And I think is it because they scared that they're going to lose their job, or they just are black of color, but they really are more so playing into them people?
I think it was okay with that little program that they came up with, where if you interview a black coach, you get like a draft comp or something like that.
The Rooney Rule?
Rooney, yeah. They interviewed already.
They added to it like when all that happened.
I'm sorry.
They added to it when all that happened with who was it? Brian Flores. When he left Miami.
Yep, Flores, and he caught them talking. Even called with Belichick, that whole Texan thing happened.
Yeah.
they know what they're doing, and they've already interviewed 2 black just because they have to.
Right.
I think part of how we got into this situation also is because our black institutions are weaker now. And what
Absolutely,
I mean by
I
that
agree
is,
100%.
Yeah.
I think of things like, for as long as I've been alive, there's been a black football coaches like association, like their own group to advocate for what was important to them. Now, their organization may still be alive, but it may not be as strong, as vigilant, as demanding of what they want as they were once upon a time. We can transpose that to organizations outside of football. I mean, I'm part of my chapter of the NAACP, but I know I'm not going to beat around the bush. I know the NAACP doesn't carry the weight that it once did. And in large part because we as a people have decided, I guess in mass or in large number, oh, we don't need that anymore. And so since we are splinted or split it out, those organizations don't carry the weight that they once did when membership were high. And I could just go on and on for many other organizations that are just not popping like they once were. And because we aren't united in these respects, it's almost like they are dividing to conquer, and they're seceding in that respect in some regards.
I agree. A couple, we have Coach Terry Bryant in the comments that said they don't want to get blackballed like Cap.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
The NAACP doesn't have no power, which I agree, because ours here is definitely like nothing. And what I've noticed with that, they don't get involved in nothing till it's something huge and major, and you got a big time attorney involved, and then now they want to back it up. And that's sad, because once upon a time, like you said, they was such a strong entity. And when you seen the NAACP coming, you knew it was going to be problems.
Correct. Nowadays, the numbers are split. Just hell, we can even look at the black church itself. Numbers are declining. And because like numbers are declining, their power, their might is also declining. And so you're going to have situations where entities that you thought would always have a seat at the table, and going back to football, like the Black Coaches Association, the powers that be, the real powers that be, the owners and whatnot, they don't have to listen to them like they may have had to once upon a time.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's really sad, you know.
It's to the point where they don't even care if we think they racist. They don't even care no more. Like, it's not calling somebody.
It's blatant. It ain't hidden. It's blatant. Right. Once upon a time, they was trying
to wonder why they got it like that. People have them thinking that it's okay now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So on all levels.
B said Robert's Kraft statement acknowledged that he didn't have the tools and that he was set up to fail. So if you know that, why would you get rid of him? You know what I'm saying? Help him get the tools so he can be successful.
Exactly.
They had an anonymous person that spoke to a reporter recently that stated that Mayo had lost the locker room a long time ago. Like, he was, you know, calling them soft, different things that he was commenting on, that they were kind of like backfiring on him with, hey, you know, he can't, you say one thing and then, you know, in front of the
do another.
Yeah.
So
and then
came in and
go out there and they're like, no, you don't, that was wrong.
Right.
Belichick came in and said
the comment was made about the players. Now, I'll tell you this. The players only care about two things: their brand and winning. Right? Their brand and winning. Like, at the end of the, especially at that level. Of course, you're in college level, and now we paying them too. So they, if their brand and winning, and the coach is collateral damage. If you gotta go and we gonna win, because when we win, my brand goes up. Right? I get more endorsements. I get more marketing. I get more things. So it's and it could quick losing, you know, talk about Jacksonville, like the, you know, and going back to last year when he fired Caldwell, right? Was that the right move? Who knows? We don't know, but it didn't help. And so now you made this move and we still losing. So the next job is your job, right? And that's just what happens. And so when I don't know, like if Mayo start losing the locker room again, you wasn't ready, right? You took a job probably that you wasn't ready for. That's a tough job to win in, and you're coming behind a legend that done won for 20 years.
But that same legend
some jobs
was calling them same players soft.
Yeah.
And then when he was calling them worse. And when Mayo came in and said the same thing, why did Belichick feel the need to start taking up for the players just because he had them the previous year? Because that was his comment. So he was never going to get the same opportunity. Never.
No. He was dealt a bad hand.
Exactly.
Like, really bad. And I just felt bad that they didn't give him an opportunity, but they said something about the locker room. They talked about, even the fan base. Everybody was, the whole thing when they took Brissett out because Brissett was doing so bad. They brought in May, and everybody's happy now. But we're still losing. We're not winning. We're still losing. So now what?
I will say this. I will add this for a little context here. If you ask most, especially, let's say, Generation X and older, about cities and major cities and their temperament for Black folk. I'm from the South, born and raised in the South, still live in the South. But even I have always known there's something about Boston. There's something about Boston and their history, their treatment of people that look like us. And so I've been there, I've visited Boston, had a great time in the city and whatnot. But I remember that going in, and I've not heard that about with respect to this city of major cities.
Boston.
It's shocking for a lot of people because Boston is up north, it's in New England, highly educated, very blue state, and so on and so forth. But it's something that's always been like a known thing, like in the back of people's mind about, it's Boston.
Boston, yeah. And
so
you talk about even with that. But I can say this, being from Boston, Boston itself is predominantly Black and other. Outside, like you said, they don't move out. There's a lot of foreigners there, Caribbean, it's a mix, Cape Verdean. There's a mix there in Boston. Outside of Boston is where we have all the other, and there's some parts in Boston too, but the majority of Boston is other. But we still have that stigma of the whole racist back in the day. My aunt, the busing situation back then, all that was going on in the 70s. And, I remember all of that. And even, it's kind of like it's there. You have the friends that's Irish and this and that, but, we know what it is.
Cool.
But them fans in Boston, they was already gunning for him when he first got the job. And I'm going to tell you that. I saw the comments. I got off some of those pages because I was like, oh, no. It's, even with Cam. Cam was our first Black starting quarterback. Oh, they went in. They was talking about his hair. They just did everything other than football. I'm like, what does that have to do with football? His hair, his this, his that. I had to get off of those pages because I was like, this is just too much for me. And even left the group that I was associated here in Atlanta because of the comments I saw on their pages. And I'm like, I'm going up there and I'm, high-fiving with these people every day. I'm like, I'm good. So that's when I started watching at home.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there, that whole stigma of Boston and how they are. But we always just went on with life. But it is what it is. And like I said, even here in Atlanta, you go outside of Atlanta, it's a different ball game.
Mm-hmm.
You go up here in Conyers, you go to different parts, North Georgia, same thing. So it's everywhere, but like you said, Boston is a bad rep because of, but I just know I live there and I know there's predominantly Black and other in Boston. Would love for you guys to come up there when I go, so I'll show you where we at.
Well, we play y'all next year, and as long as it ain't cold, we is going. We is going. As long as
it's downtown, y'all must have stayed in the downtown area. You say, oh yeah, but I'll show you Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan. It ain't, it's not downtown Boston.
Depends on the time of year.
Exactly.
Coach Terry said, "I'm a part of the National Coalition of Minority Football Coaches, and I don't recall them speaking of any type of protest to talk about black coach firings or the lack thereof." That's interesting. And she in the group.
That's
Yeah.
They're sad. They're silenced then.
In the group. So ain't nobody touching that. But I think somebody said it the best. Like being blackballed. Don't want their name painted.
So I'm just thinking too, with him having this now being fired and all this stigma attached to the locker room and all this and that, is he going to have a fair chance at another position somewhere else? Because at this point now, they're looking at
not
him
as a head coach initially. He gonna have to be a coordinator.
He'll get an assistant job.
Yeah.
He won't go right into a head coaching job. Which, again, to be fair, like he didn't do anything to go right back into a head coaching job, right? To be fair, right? It's like the debacle we had with Urban Meyer, right? He didn't deserve to go back into a head coaching job, and so will these guys get jobs again? They will get jobs again. One, because they were former players, they're still young, and then because remember, Belichick got fired in Cleveland.
He sure did.
Right.
Because we was pissed when he was here. He was here, didn't do nothing.
Right.
And then he went to Boston and started winning.
You take a job when you're young and it's not a good job. Cleveland wasn't a good job, right? He took that job because it was his first job, right? And you take that job and you don't have success, you're gonna get popped.
That's true.
Or you can you can be their color and still be sorry and keep your job.
Yep.
That part right there. That's the part I'm talking about.
Listen, let me tell you, it's so much dysfunction in our locker room that it makes no sense. There's no leadership from the coaching, nothing. I get to choose which quarterback I want to play for. I don't like you. I ain't playing today. But we get another one tomorrow, and he come out with quotes and throw 7 pick 6, and we still gonna play for him. You know what I mean? That is lack of leadership. There is none between the coaching. Jimmy is a horrible owner, all of that. So it just depends on, you got to have some type of leadership and respect in the locker room, and you got to come in commanding that and not playing patty cake and we gonna sing kumbaya in the locker room at all.
Okay.
But somebody said it in the comments that even black players don't respect coaches.
Ooh.
They don't.
And I think that's one thing. That's one of the reasons Deion said, I don't want to go coach in the NFL. He's like, all that money, they don't respect you, they don't, listen to you. So, it's a respect thing.
Someone just said Tom Brady is trying to get Bill Belichick to coach the Raiders.
I hope not.
Told y'all that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing Nikki said. That they trying to get out and go there.
Oh,
child, if he go to the Raiders, baby.
Well,
so can he leave that school? He just accepted a job.
He said
he got a clause in the contract. He do what he want. He run around with that little girl and do what he want.
He said he's not going. I mean, Mo said he's not.
I know, Mama. I know you're gonna keep calling me that.
I'm sorry, son.
He already said he's not going.
Respect him, Nikki. Respect him.
Yeah.
Get it together.
That's why we ain't got black coaches now.
my mama want to baby me.
Let's get into these playoff games this week.
Yes.
We got the Steelers and the Ravens. Who y'all got? I got the Ravens because ain't no way in God's green earth I'm gonna vote for the Ravens.
Well,
let me take a drink.
Black and yellow.
Black and yellow.
I'm not voting. I'm not choosing them on no day of the week. Not one.
Listen,
not none.
I would
the
love
Lord
for
got to come
Pittsburgh.
down and talk to me about
I
them.
would love for Pittsburgh to win just because that's been my 6 years old. However, I want it so bad for Lamar right now. It's not.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even like the Ravens because they really the Browns.
And hey, my Duval cast that's on here.
I like my
this
division.
pick. No, this number 5 pick. this number 5 pick is giving me Lenny over Lamar vibes. I don't like this number 5 pick this year.
I'm okay with that pick. I'm okay with the pick. I'm not okay with the person who has the power to make the pick at this time.
Yeah.
Me either. We in number 2, and I really am nervous.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want the GM to make the pick.
Just remember when we picked Lenny over Lamar, we could have been the Ravens right now.
Right. I see from this first game coming up, I see the Ravens taking it. And actually, if the Steelers play this weekend like they've played the last, I think, 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, they'll lose.
It's not even going to be close, because what we've seen with the Steelers is kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde situation, because the way that they started the season and the way that they ended the season
remind you of the Jaguars last year.
Very much so like the Jaguars.
Playing devil's advocate, I don't like them.
You can't tell me Pickens.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying you can't tell me Pickens didn't have some money up in Vegas.
Listen, so I was saying that with somebody else the way he played, but I also think that them playing them 3 games in like 11 days or whatever kind of took a toll on the Steelers. And I ain't really, I ain't a fan on
let's hear from the Steelers.
Well, I see Steelers done put picked in. Come on now.
What you got?
Russell Wilson. He'll get you there, but he is not going to finish.
Yeah.
He's not going to finish.
Well, that's when you put your young boy, you put the young man in.
Somebody got to give me the number. I'm going to tell him.
But do you think Fields is a closer? Do you think he the closer? I don't think he the closer.
But you got to weigh your options, though.
Neither one of them is a closer. Russell's not a closer. If he was a closer, he would have got that. He would have got that other championship by saying, "Let me give it the beast mode."
We wouldn't know if Justin Fields is the closer because nobody gave him a chance.
Yeah,
exactly.
So took him out.
That's why
I say you got to weigh your options.
I have said from the beginning of the season, if I was Russell, with all that money that he's still getting paid from the Broncos and the Steelers only paying him 25 cents, I would have been sitting on the bench and I would have been mentoring Fields and let him play. If I played 1 or 2 games, I would not have taken that. He ain't got to play. He's still getting paid from the Broncos.
Is that his decision to make, though?
Right. He's not satisfied.
We want to play. That's the problem. He wants to play.
We all want to play.
We all want to play. I would want to play.
I would want to go home to Sierra.
They're playing in Baltimore, right?
If I was his wife,
I would want to go home to Sierra.
If I was his wife, I would be saying, let me show you how to do this. I would be holding that tablet and letting him know, hold the tablet and let that young boy play and mentor him. Mm-hmm. That's if I was his wife. That's what I would be telling him. He would have had too many babies to keep playing out there and getting.
Well, he's about to have another one.
Another one?
Yep.
But they're playing in Pittsburgh. No, they're not playing in Pittsburgh. They're playing in Baltimore.
No, they're in Baltimore.
They in Baltimore, which is why the Ravens, I believe, is going to pull it out. Lamar got legs. He run, and he put that team on his back when he needs to.
And don't forget, they still got King Henry.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
So
the Ravens are the only team out of the team I would say most likely out of the AFC to keep the Chiefs from three-peating. I don't see the Chargers. I don't see the Broncos. I don't see the Steelers. I'm trying to think
the Lions.
Who out of the AFC? Out of the
AFC.
I said the Bills. You don't think the Bills?
Oh, okay. My bad. Forgot the Bills.
The Bills beat them already. They beat them in Buffalo.
That was their loss.
Yep, the Bills beat them.
That was their only loss.
The Bills and the Ravens.
This goose egg last week, which was a tank.
Yes, it was.
So I think the Chiefs lost on purpose because they didn't want to see Cincinnati for real.
Yeah.
Cincinnati would have gave him a run for their money.
Barrel chunking this year.
Yeah, so they lost on purpose for that. Like y'all put y'all practice squad in to play.
Yep.
Not your second string, y'all practice squad. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chargers and the Texans.
Chargers.
Like whosoever will.
Chargers. I'm never picking the Texans.
Ever.
Chargers.
And why is that?
I don't know why they are.
We even madder at the Texans now after they almost killed our quarterback.
The Chargers just playing better right
need to
now.
learn how to slide, and because when he turned into a running back, then that's why he was
sliding. We're not gonna go there. We're not going there.
Listen, we're not going there. But I'm just saying, he slid a little too late for me. I was like, hey.
Homeboy didn't have to lead with his elbows.
Learn how to slide.
He didn't have to lead like this either. Okay. Okay.
Look at them. We got the whole cheering squad.
Right.
We didn't have to leave.
No motion, like slide, get down.
Hey, Mary.
On the helmet.
But y'all know another play just happened like that, and it was like, I don't know, it wasn't as much noise, as much buzz. So
Nothing happened. Who was it?
Sunshine lights went out.
yeah, that's
Again?
it.
They quarterback.
Oh.
The same? Lawrence?
No, he's been out. He hadn't played since then.
Okay, but he's okay.
Oh, he's still out?
What did you?
Yeah, he's out. He's been out. He didn't come back because he had
He
surgery.
got hurt.
No, he was already supposed to be having a surgery. So he just went ahead and had a surgery. He just had a 10-pound baby girl about 4 days ago.
I seen that.
He needs to be home.
Yeah.
Okay, so who
and I didn't want him to play anyway for this regime. I wanted him just to wait, get himself up and ready for.
Because that's somebody else who's been dealt a bad hand of cards. They keep saying he's a bust, but if you go back, he just was dealt a bad hand of cards. He had Urban. You know what I'm saying?
He's not a bad quarterback at all.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying he's a bust.
He is not a bad quarterback. He just don't have the people around him to show how good of a quarterback.
And he's had a horrible O-line since he's been there.
Yeah.
That's the story of the NFL.
He took my cousin's place at Clemson, and I always look at him sideways, but he's a good quarterback. Kelly Bryant was, Clemson back then, and just took his little job and just ran with it. I was like, oh, so my family looking at him like they don't like Clemson no
more. We have the Broncos and the Bills.
Bills.
I don't root for the Broncos on no day either.
But you know what, y'all? When it get to playoff time, it's like any given Saturday or Sunday. I promise, some of these teams you think gonna win, they lose.
I don't like dude. I don't think I would ever.
I agree, Mary. I'm going with the Bills on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take the Bills. I'm taking the Bills all day long. I don't think that the Broncos are going to. Hey, Shantae, we talked about your team like a dog. I don't think the Broncos are going to be able to pull that one out. I think this is the Bills' year. I think it's in the final
they
dance.
Said he need the money.
They
said he need the money.
They good. They gonna win though. They might not have no Super Bowl because it might parade because it's gonna be too much snow, but they gonna win. Packers and the Eagles.
The Eagles.
I hope
I'm choosing the Eagles on that one.
I'm going Philly.
It's gonna be the Eagles, but I hope the Packers surprise us.
Eagles.
Love
Packers
ain't
hurt.
got it.
Packers hurt.
Love hurt.
I think it's
Love
gonna
hurt.
be
Watson out. He tore his
it's
ACL.
gonna
The quarterback hurt?
Yeah.
He hurt his hand. They said it's
He
elbow,
out?
but
Is he
Watson
out?
out. Watson tore his ACL.
No love.
Oh,
Yeah.
Love out too?
No, he's
Looking
not out, but he's hurt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, then, yeah, they'll win.
I'm going
It-
with the
it's
Ratchet Philly on this one.
They
It's
say
a
we'll
shame
see
because
if
if Love was if the Packers were at or closer to full strength, this was the game that was going to be the marquee game of this first weekend. I think the Packers and the Eagles was shaping up to really be something else. But now when you got so many injuries, I think it's kind of going to be the Eagles on a little kind of on a walk.
If the Eagles win, Tina's in the comments. Tina, you better get your Eagles under control because the group is going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tina, you better have a little talk with them because they wild. Commanders and Bucks. Commanders and the Buccaneers.
Commanders.
I'm going with the Commanders.
I'm actually going to go to that tailgate this weekend.
I think the Bucks going to
win at home.
You think the Bucks going to do it?
At home.
And they got home field advantage.
Yeah.
I got a thing against Baker Mayfield, so you know I'm going.
I do too, but that's y'all fault. But that's y'all fault.
That's not Baker's fault.
That is not our fault.
That's y'all fault.
So let me say this: look how many teams Baker's had to go through to get to where he is today to grow into the person.
Somebody that like him for real.
No. Baker had his way in Cleveland. He chose who was coming to play with him. He had everything going on. He was selfish. He was young, and he was an idiot. Period.
Did he choose his
coach? And he ruined a lot of opportunities for us. Period. Like go have surgery instead of keep playing and do things like that. You know, and keep hurting the team.
Coach. You just was talking about the coach. Did he choose his coach?
Boom, no, the coach was there when he came. Get out of here! No,
Mama, you want to tell him something?
Y'all told me to hush.
No, I disagree. Anyway, I hope the Commanders get it, and I hope Jaden go and handle his business. Now, that's what I'm gonna say about that.
Yep.
Vikings and the Rams.
I'm gonna go.
I want the Rams. I want the Rams to win it. I got some special interest on that Ram squad. But
really?
You know, my boy, look, FAMU is on the Rams.
That's right.
I gave him his first NFL experience. He was like, "I'm going to the league," and he got there. I want him to go.
We got multiple Rattlers on that Ram squad.
Yes, in the staff too.
I still feel like the Vikings are going to. They're going to come out on top, and they're going to travel too. This is the thing that the league is like, it's real hush hush. But truth be told, LA don't really come out for football. Not like you would think for the second biggest media market in the nation, particularly for the Chargers. At least this is the Rams, and the Rams do pull if they're hot or if the fans feel like they're, it's going to be successful. But the Vikings are going to pound.
Hey, so wait a minute, Charles.
I think
so listen, y'all.
We played
what happened?
Super Bowl
but guess what?
There was no fans here.
Let me ask y'all something. What happens if both those teams win and they play home?
Oh, that's easy. You're going to have the Chargers. Well, I don't know if the Chargers are even in a position to have a home game, but even if you were, that stadium can have 2 games in 2 days. You can't have 2 games in the same day. But it's just like
don't you go to one day now?
No. Next weekend it's still going to be over 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just like if the Lakers and the Clippers were in the playoffs at the same time.
I think that's my upset of the week. I think the Rams going to beat them.
Yeah.
Someone said Darnold is unpredictable at this point.
I think the Rams. The Rams they're going to beat them. I don't trust Darnold. Somebody just wrote that. Yeah, I don't trust Darnold. Right?
Somebody just said
Darnold win a playoff game. No way.
Yeah, and that's what somebody said. Darnold is unpredictable at this point. Queen Ming is saying that. Yep.
Unpredictable.
The Vikings have already overachieved mightily this season.
They have. I did not expect them to be who they are.
The national prognosticators, or whatever you call them, they predicted the Vikings to be like the worst, if not one of the worst teams in the whole league, and here they are, almost having
They third best right now.
Yeah,
they third best
out of the NFC. I think that also speaks to the power of a coach who is a true quarterback whisperer. And to think that some years ago, this guy was being talked about as being the Jaguars coach, and our owner in his wisdom went a different direction. You know, you always say what could have been. Not when we chose Dub, but when we chose Urban. Not with Dub, but when Urban.
Yeah.
This guy here that's in Minnesota, and you see what he's doing right now with someone who was a traveler. Sam Darnold was kicked around, I think, what 3-4 teams or so far.
Yeah, but a lot of that too. They I don't know if they were. I don't know if they were thought to have a bottom tier. They don't have a bottom tier roster. Like they don't have a bottom tier roster. They have a really good roster, and they got a quarterback that just came in and played well enough. He didn't lose games. But now he's in a like, and you know, these last
now he's not on the Jets,
right? And so he can't go win a game now, right? When you take the them two, because he got two good receivers, and then remember at the end of last year they traded for the boy Hawkinson from Detroit. So now you're talking about they got a talented offense, right? They're talented on offense. And you get a guy who just don't turn the ball over. Hey, just don't, whatever you do, don't turn the ball over, right? And so now, though, I think that Cinderella slipper is starting to come off, and that's why
not the Cinderella slipper.
Truly, if you think about it, it's kind of could put Minnesota in a bind actually, because now you have this situation where you got these other quarterbacks that you brought in, either through free agency or high draft pick. And then you had an injury. An injury is the only reason why we're seeing Sam Darnold. And now he's playing himself into a position where there's going to be this feeling like you got to pay him now. But you also got the young folks that are also on the roster and what to do. It's going to be very interesting to see what this is going to mean for them over the next 3-4 years or so.
Yeah. I think that rookie will play next year.
He should.
Yeah.
Someone just said the Vikings wasted that $2 million in the D.
They ain't about to for a game.
That was behind all those seats.
So my question is, who do you think will be in the final dance? For me, it's the Bills and the Lions.
Well, who the Lions play?
The Lions have a bye this week.
Oh, okay.
They're waiting for the
Lions and the Ravens.
outcome.
I see the Lions and the Ravens.
Yeah, Lions and the Ravens.
Chiefs and the Eagles.
That's what y'all think, Lions and the Ravens?
Listen,
I would like to see that. The problem is some reason that them Ravens can't get out of that second round of the playoffs. They can't figure it out.
They got time.
I think
Lamar has a major problem getting out of that round.
They may have addressed that this year just with the addition of King Henry.
Just Henry.
Okay. Let me ask y'all a question. It's a video.
Those two players are going to take them to the dance.
And his mom cursed him out.
And so he's got to play his game.
So is that video that's going around with Lamar? Is that fake news? It's like he cursing and he telling the Steelers. I hope that this is not the case, because when you start getting big headed and bashing and talking like that,
humble. I doubt that.
That's fake news.
Okay, so all right.
With these players now.
Yeah, I think that is because he is very, very humble.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
He is a very humble.
Out of the AFC, because it's crazy. All year you hear, man, they ain't playing well. And you look up, they 15-1. They lose the last game because they ain't play anybody. They just scary. Like until somebody beats them, it's hard for me to pick against them. Like they just win. right? And you know, they just win. They just figure out and they just win. And now they got home. Now everybody got to go through Kansas City. That's a tough place to win, right? That one loss Buffalo got, they were at home, right?
Yeah,
but now everybody got to go to Kansas City, right?
Kansas City though got to be the worst stadium in the league.
It's the loudest for sure.
The loudest stadium.
It's the loudest for sure.
They get to hitting on that metal wall with that old chanting and carrying on. I was and they do it all the way around that tunnel going down. You're right, it is, and they seem to find a way to win when they shouldn't, like always.
Yeah, they haven't been.
And Lord, don't let it be 3 below 0.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they losing toes and everything up there. I don't see how
I never forget last year watching that game when we had went to Houston and then they played right after us and we were sitting there. I was like, ain't no way. I live in a cold city and don't sit out there. You can't pay me enough.
You got me sitting out there this time and stay home. How she sent me to the game and stay home and I was a icicle.
I really don't think that weather. I don't think climate. Rather, not weather. I don't think climate this year is going to be as big of a deal in the playoffs as some years before. Because if you think about just looking on the AFC side, you only got 2 warm teams. You got Houston that's a dome team that a lot of us said we don't see them coming out of the first week, and then you got the Chargers, and I think they'll be done the next week. And so
I agree with that.
You got Kansas City, they used to the cold. You got Buffalo, they good with the cold. And you got the Ravens, they good with the cold. So as long as it's not Houston or the Chargers going to Kansas City, I'm not.
What about the Eagles?
No, I'm talking about the AFC.
They good for the
AFC. If Baltimore goes to Kansas City and the weather is 3 below,
they got it.
Phase them. If Buffalo go to Kansas City, it damn sure ain't gonna phase them.
Yeah, and I say that home field advantage is more than that weather though. Like playing it is I don't know.
In Kansas City, I don't care. Them fans show up.
Yeah.
And they loud. You got to beat the stands. You got to beat the team and the refs in KFC.
It just ain't nothing that Kansas City has done this year to make me say, man, yeah, they can't make it out this year. Like they
are a well-coached
make it out, right? I won't hear if to go get them a ring. I just don't know if.
So you're saying
they're a well-coached team. Andy Reid is an absolutely awesome coach. They got a well-coached team. Now, if that team split up and they go somewhere, you're gonna get to really see who them players are. Because I just don't believe.
They have not blown anybody out this whole season.
Right. And they barely win in these days. They just figure it out. They barely win.
It don't matter. As long as they got the W at the end.
Which is true. But I just think that three-peat ain't going to happen this year for them.
I agree.
I hope it don't. Jesus in heaven, no, I hope it don't. I promise I hope it don't. I wouldn't be able to take it.
A lot of the games, field goals by a few points. That's what I was seeing with them.
That's how our beloved Jags lost every game by 1 possession or 1 score. Like,
yeah. That's even my son-in-law was talking about. The Jags. He's like, the Jags is a good team. They're not getting blown out.
No.
10 games by 1 score.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why the job is truly. It should be save the GM. It should be by far the most attractive job out there. If you look at the jobs that's out there, you got to find somebody for New England. We think it's Mike. You got to find somebody now for New Orleans. That's probably the worst job there because New Orleans is in cap hell to the 10th power.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the Vegas job.
Yep.
That roster in Vegas, it needs some work. The Jaguars' job is an extremely attractive job, especially
because we're talented.
Especially like you consider what you just said. They lost 10 games by 1 score or less. Mm-hmm. Some of those games you lost by a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Right.
so,
1 point, one of them.
Job, not a
or
bad
1
job
point.
either.
And so you got to ask yourself, are you the coach that you think you are to make that difference?
Yeah, it's not a New England team, definitely.
So let's close out with this. What do we think this draft is going to look like?
Boo boo.
Right.
I agree, and I'm nervous for real because like teams with good picks, like the picking ain't picking this year, and what you need, you're not gonna really get, and you got people that just got bad decision making skills. They just don't make good decisions. So knowing that, you just don't know. Like everybody want us to take Cam Ward, but he's not a team player. Like he got issues right there. Like we got enough issues. We don't need no more. You got Shador and Travis going. You know, everybody betting that they gonna go to the Raiders, and then some saying the Giants, but the Giants will never have a black quarterback ever. So. You know that there go your top picks right there. Who else is it for them to take somebody?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see what we're gonna pick this year.
It'll be interesting.
Last year we got our quarterback May, you know, and sat him on the bench for a while and then put him out there. But I hope they go out for some star receivers, O-line.
Travis.
They need something.
Everybody need an O-line, Mel, and it ain't nobody for them to pick from.
I think pick 5 is Travis Hunter. I'm just playing.
I think New England get Travis.
Like everybody needs something, and they not gonna get it from what's available for real.
Yeah.
It's not the strongest draft.
And the other thing is when you look at the top picks, so you got what? Shador, Travis, Cam, and maybe a couple others, right?
What's
so they gonna go in
Alabama?
the first. You know, Deion ain't letting Shador come to Cleveland.
No.
He ain't letting him go. You know, he gonna go to the Raiders or something like that. So when you look at that, half of this is already negotiated already.
It's gonna be a pick and a trade real quick.
Well, that's why I think that Raiders
all night
with them firing that coach, I think that messed some stuff up though. I think with the firing of the Raiders coach, I think that's put a little damper on some things because I'm pretty sure they had been probably in talks about that.
Tom Brady is at the Raiders. That is Shador's mentor and everything.
And him and Deion are friends.
And so you think Deion let him go without a coach, not knowing who's gonna be there to coach? Well, I guess Tom there, so that's his coach.
Okay.
So
it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, it really
Y'all
is.
keep playing. Tom be walking out there as head coach.
Okay, or he's suited up, right?
Because he speaks as a commentator. I still can't get over that. I don't like it.
I don't like hearing him talk. I'm just gonna be honest.
No, I don't. Every time I hear him, like,
I put it on.
One of the girls posted in the group, like him at the desk, like, look at this. I'm just thinking, like, make better decisions with your life, lady, because this is not it.
Okay, shameless plugs. I got one, y'all. If anybody want to go to the Pro Bowl, I have about 20 100 level tickets left for like $39. So if y'all want to go to the Pro Bowl,
I got my ticket already.
You already got your ticket has been secured. It's February 2nd. February 2nd.
February 2nd?
Yes.
Come on, y'all. I'm going. Y'all know this is my last outing for real.
Where is it at?
Orlando.
Oh, yeah, we can ride there.
Yeah, so y'all hit me up because I have like 20 tickets left. And normally we have plaza level seats, but I actually have 100 level. I was able to get some 100 level seats, and they're good seats. They're right at the I forgot what they call it, but whatever they do, whatever they be doing down there, it's like right there. And then Mo, I'm sorry, Mo, if you want to tell them your podcast.
From the Hip Podcast that is on YouTube. From the Hip. We also have a website, fromthehip.football.
Okay.
And what days and times are you on, sir?
Saturdays, and well, the weekly stuff stopped because we finna focus on the playoffs. But yeah, it's 5 of us from the hip.
Oh, nice. We're gonna be
and
on.
so Nikki will post it in
we'll
our
be
group
on.
to remind us. As we close out, I want to thank our guests for coming and talking football with Black Women Love Football. We greatly appreciate it. Today was a good show. Happy New Year to everyone. Those in the comments, thanks for joining us. I will see everybody next week in Atlanta for the MLK parade and our day of service. Also, so people that are traveling, safe travels to you. Don't forget to register for nationals. We are in the CLE this year, Hall of Fame, and it is going to be a blast. So, ladies, make sure you get registered. If there is a problem with that, please let us know.
And Ray, where do you coach? Let me Ray, where do you coach?
Elizabeth City State University.
Okay.
Good luck to your team this year. Good luck to anybody's team that is still in the playoffs, unless your color is black and gold. With that is the end for me. Mal, do you have anything?
No, just everybody looking forward to seeing everyone. MLK weekend. It's gonna be cold, I hear.
Yeah, I'm bundling up because I
50
can't.
50 degrees is not cold. I live in Cleveland. I don't have on shorts and a hoodie.
You live in
Tell
Cleveland.
that to somebody who's from Florida.
Button up, get all your gear on. Stacy says she's coming down here in shorts. I want to see that.
Stacy, are you bringing my
well,
with you?
it depends what the weather is in Cleveland. 50 degrees. I wear fleece shorts and a hoodie all season.
Okay.
Depends on the weather in Cleveland.
Stacy, are you bringing my things with you?
We're gonna bundle up.
Okay.
Get your team gear. Patriots. Patriots. But parade day. Make sure you have your hat, gloves, or whatever you. Patriots. I'm gonna be Patriot down. Other than my hoodie.
Jags down.
Y'all know I'm coming with all the brown and orange with this funky vest I got.
Yeah, get a compression shirt for under your hoodie.
Yes. And so just make sure you have some gear on other than, the Black Women Love Football hoodie. And we're going to meet up for Saturday, 8:30 for those that are doing clothes, 9 o'clock for those that are doing food. And then on Monday, we're meeting up, say around 10:30, I would say safe before a lineup, 10:30. So we can start, we'll have a ceremony at 11 and then they start the parade.
Luella, you'll have your hoodie this week.
And I don't know what order we're gonna be in. Susan's gonna be working with the committee, I guess.
Luella, I have everybody's hoodie. You're gonna have it. It'll be.
No, I'm saying what order we're gonna be in the parade.
Oh yeah. So he didn't tell me exactly where, but he said he's trying to put us near a band. So we can do our line dances.
I'm gonna learn all the line dances on Sunday. Mal gonna show it to me, and I'm gonna pop my flag.
I got you.
Bring my stuff, Stacy.
I will bring it. As for me, that's all. Susan, you got anything besides register?
I just want to say to the gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We look forward to having you again. After we get down to the final two, we would love to have you guys back on and let's talk about the Super Bowl. Thanks so
much. Thank y'all for having us.
Oh, and Ray, give us your team schedule so Black Women Love Football members in your city can come.
Okay.
And Mo, make sure your mom posts your info. This way we can support you guys. We got 40K members and in all 50 states, and we want to support you.
Thank you.
If you want tickets to go to the Pro Bowl, please hit Nikki up. We'd love to hang out. That's my last hangout before Nationals.
Yeah.
So I head up for my bucket.
What bucket?
My bucket hat.
Oh, Stacy.
I will have your hat when I come next weekend.
Oh,
I gotta bring your hat. I gotta bring Nikki vest. Nikki got the coldest vest I made so far.
And guess what? I hope to be wearing it to the Hall of Fame game and ceremony in August. It's number 28,
it came out so nice.
We'll be there.
Taylor, 28. She made it out of a jersey that I had.
took a jersey and made her vest. It is
a puffer
so dope.
Wow.
Yep.
You're the best.
So yes, that's it for us. Thanks for joining us in the comments, and we will talk to you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Not
everyone.
everyone.
Good night.
Okay, man, you can go.